There was once a time when human beings did not instantly know everything. A song on the radio could remain unnamed for years. A stranger could remain unforgettable forever. A city existed first in imagination before experience. People wondered more, waited more, imagined more, but modern life changed something quietly, and perhaps, without fully realizing it, humanity began losing one of the most important emotional experiences ever known: mystery. Today, almost nothing remains unknown for long. Any question can be answered instantly. Any location can be explored digitally. Any person can be searched online within seconds. The modern world became transparent, and while transparency created incredible convenience, it may have also removed something deeply human. For most of history, uncertainty was part of life itself. People lived surrounded by unanswered questions. What exists beyond the ocean? What kind of person is that stranger? What happens in cities far away? What will tomorrow feel like? Mystery forced human beings to imagine, and imagination gave ordinary life emotional depth. Today, imagination increasingly gets replaced by immediate information. Instead of wondering, people search. Instead of discovering slowly, people consume instantly. The internet transformed curiosity itself. Perhaps this is why modern experiences often feel emotionally flatter than expected. People rarely encounter the unknown anymore. Before traveling somewhere, they already watched hundreds of videos about it. Before meeting someone, they already saw their online identity. Before watching a movie, they already know every review and reaction. Modern life increasingly removes anticipation before experience even begins, and anticipation once carried enormous emotional power. Waiting for a letter, waiting for someone's arrival, waiting for a favorite song to play unexpectedly. Those moments created emotional intensity precisely because they were uncertain. Today, most experiences arrive instantly on demand, and instant access changes emotional value psychologically. Human beings often desire things more when uncertainty exists. The unknown creates tension. Curiosity creates emotional investment. Mystery keeps attention alive. But when everything becomes instantly visible and immediately available, emotional excitement fades faster. Perhaps this explains why so many people consume endless entertainment while still feeling strangely unstimulated internally. Nothing remains hidden long enough to deeply captivate the imagination anymore. Every mystery gets solved immediately. Social media accelerated this dramatically. For most of history, people revealed themselves gradually. Personality unfolded slowly through conversation time, experience, emotional closeness. But modern platforms transformed identity into constant public display. People document thoughts, meals, relationships, emotions, daily routines, continuously. And slowly, human beings became overexposed to one another. Mystery disappeared from relationships too. A person once wondered what someone was thinking, where they had been, what their life looked like privately. Now, many of those answers appear online instantly. The unknown space that once fueled imagination and emotional intrigue became smaller. Even celebrity changed. In previous generations, famous individuals often felt distant and mysterious. People imagined who they were privately. Today, celebrities live stream breakfast. Constant exposure changes emotional perception. The more visible something becomes, the less mythological it feels. Modern technology also changed boredom, and boredom once played an important role psychologically. When the human mind becomes unstimulated, it naturally begins imagining, reflecting, creating daydreaming. But modern distraction interrupts boredom immediately. The moment silence appears, people reach for stimulation. Phones filled every empty moment that once allowed imagination to expand naturally. Perhaps this is why many people now struggle experiencing wonder deeply. The nervous system became overloaded with information continuously, and information alone does not always create meaning. Sometimes mystery itself creates meaning. There was a time when traveling somewhere far away felt almost magical. People carried uncertainty with them. Today, many locations feel emotionally familiar before arrival, because people already explored them digitally countless times. Discovery became simulation before experience. and simulation often weakens emotional impact. Music changed too. People once replayed songs endlessly because access was limited. Albums carried emotional importance. Now, millions of songs exist instantly available at all times, and strangely, abundance sometimes weakens appreciation psychologically. When everything becomes available endlessly, fewer things feel special. Perhaps the internet did not only change information, perhaps it changed emotional experience itself. Human beings evolved in a world where uncertainty was normal, where imagination filled gaps reality could not immediately answer. But modern systems increasingly eliminate those gaps. Everything becomes visible, everything becomes searchable, everything becomes documented. And gradually, life begins feeling emotionally flatter, despite endless stimulation. This may explain another strange contradiction of modern life. People know more than any generation in history, yet many feel less emotionally moved by the world around them, because knowledge and wonder are not always the same thing. Mystery once slowed life down. It forced patience, attention, curiosity, and perhaps human beings psychologically need some uncertainty to remain emotionally engaged with existence itself. Even relationships become different when mystery disappears completely. Real intimacy does not require total exposure immediately. Sometimes emotional connection deepens slowly through gradual discovery, but modern culture increasingly pressures people to reveal everything instantly. Thoughts, trauma, identity, private life before trust naturally develops, and when everything becomes instantly visible, emotional depth sometimes struggles to form naturally. Perhaps this is why many people secretly crave experiences that still feel mysterious. Walking through unfamiliar cities, disconnecting from phones, reading books slowly, watching films without spoilers, meeting people without researching them first. These moments briefly restore something modern life increasingly removed: the emotional intensity of the unknown. The disappearance of mystery also changed childhood. Previous generations often experienced long periods of uncertainty and imagination naturally. Children invented worlds from boredom. Now, endless digital stimulation often replaces imagination before it fully develops. Answers arrive before curiosity matures. And perhaps the deepest consequence of losing mystery is this: human beings stop fully engaging with life imaginatively. The unknown once inspired art, philosophy, exploration, spirituality, storytelling. Mystery pushed humanity forward emotionally and creatively. Without it, existence risks becoming informational instead of experiential. This does not mean technology itself is negative. Modern innovation created extraordinary progress. But perhaps human beings were never psychologically designed to instantly access everything constantly. Some emotional experiences only exist when uncertainty remains. And maybe that is why certain moments still feel unusually powerful today. A disconnected weekend, a spontaneous conversation, a place never photographed online, a song discovered accidentally, a quiet moment nobody records, because for a brief moment, life feels unknown again. Perhaps mystery was never simply absence of information. Perhaps mystery was emotional space. Space for imagination, curiosity, anticipation. Wonder things modern life increasingly compresses beneath endless visibility and constant stimulation. And maybe the deeper tragedy of the modern world is not only that human beings know too much, but that so little is left for the imagination to discover slowly anymore. Because perhaps human beings were never meant to instantly know everything. Sometimes, mystery itself was part of what made life feel alive.